So you meet a great guy, he seems to be pursuing you, and he seems to want to date you. I mean, this guy is totally in. And what do? You start fighting about the dumbest. I mean, the guy turned the temp dial to 72 degrees and you flipped out. You didn't respond to his text for 3 days because you didn't feel like it. You might even start flirting with guys in front of him just to kind of him off a little bit. Long story short, you just might not be ready to attract love. Keep watching. Hey there, Adam Little from LoveStrategies.com, where I help successful single women get out there and attract long-lasting love and do it with a proven strategy. If you enjoy these videos, please give this video a like. It really helps us out a lot and also gives you a little bit of good luck in your love life. And make sure you subscribe and hit that bell because we're gonna have a lot of content coming to you very soon. Now, I've been doing this for 10 years now. Jeez, I'm getting old. And what I've found is that people sometimes when they get in new, really healthy relationships, they just sabotage it. Have you ever done that before? Leave a comment right there below. And so what I wanted to do is create 6 signs that you just might not be ready to attract love. And by the way, if that's the case, that's totally cool. Sign number 1 is that your life is just full of unanswered questions. Where are you going to live? What do you want to do for a living? What do you like to do for fun? What is the meaning of all this? Now look, you don't need to know the meaning of life to attract love, but you still do need to have some stability in your life. I remember back in the day when I was single, I don't know, 10 years ago, I was living in New York City at the time and I was completely lost in my life. And I remember I'd go on dates and I would meet a really nice person. In fact, I met a really great woman there, but I just couldn't progress anything forward because anytime things would start to get serious, I would be thinking, what is our life going to look like? My life's not even figured out yet. So what could our life even possibly, how could that possibly work? And so I sabotaged it, which in the end was perfectly okay because honestly, once I kind of got my shit together, I met Jessica, and that's it. Number 2 is that all of your relationships in your life, your platonic, your familial relationships are just a complete mess. Look, if there's constant drama with your siblings, your best friend, your parents don't even want to spend time with you, perhaps it's time to just take a look in the mirror and say, do I create all this drama? Sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes we are the problem, and that's okay. Actually, I'd rather be the problem because I can be in control of working on that problem. And look, whenever we onboard a new client in our Love Accelerator coaching program, one of the first things we do in what we call Little Love Step number 1 is we have our clients take a real hard look at their existing relationships, their non-romantic relationships, their platonic relationships, their friends, their family, and really take an inventory of how quality are those relationships. Because honestly, your romantic relationships will merely be a reflection of your platonic and familial relationships. If these are always a mess, then your romantic relationships will always be a mess. Number 3 is that you are constantly comparing every guy that you're dating to your ex. Now look, it's natural to have a slight comparison whenever you're dating someone new because comparisons are how the human brain works. We're comparing one person to another. But if you are fixated on your ex and how no one seems to match up with that person, maybe it's time to take a step back from finding love and really start focusing on yourself, building your confidence and finding your own passions and interests and really healing from that past relationship. Once you do that work, then attracting love is going to be much more possible. Next is that your career is a higher priority than love. Now look, there is one thing that drives me absolutely bonkers when a new client joins Love Accelerator and they come on a mastermind coaching call and they say, Adam, I just don't have time. I don't have time. How am I supposed to do all this? I don't have time for any of this. And I say, look, we all have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time, but we choose where we put our time. We create our own priorities. And what you are simply doing is prioritizing work. So in order to be successful at this process and attracting long-lasting love, is the only way to do it is to prioritize and make time for it. Now, it doesn't mean you need to be going out every single night of the week for 5 hours a night. Of course not. It might just simply mean to designate one night a week, but every single time that specific night comes up, you get the babysitter. You really put work aside and you focus in on this area of your life. Everyone has time to make this happen. I don't care if you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company or you are the President of the United States, although they are rarely single. The next sign is that you simply don't seem to like yourself. Now look, there's a lot of self-help advice out there that tells you need to love yourself in order to attract love, or you just need to love yourself in general. And I understand the sentiment of that advice, and in some ways that can be healthy, but quite frankly, I don't know what it means to love yourself, but I do know what it means to like yourself. You need to like your actions, like your behaviors, like the things that you do in your life. And if you don't like yourself and you're constantly ashamed of your behavior and everything that you seem to do creates complete chaos in other people's lives, well, it's important to address that first. Because if you don't like yourself, if you find yourself in a relationship with a guy who likes you, that's going to feel uncomfortable to you because you're going to be thinking to yourself, wait, I'm not a good person. I don't like myself, but he seems to like me. This doesn't add up, so I'm going to blow this whole thing up and sabotage it. The next sign is that you're feeling way too much external pressure. Your parents, your friends, society, they're all telling you that if you don't attract love, then you are not worthy. You are the only person who has to live your life. Don't listen to that garbage. And the final sign is that you have unrealistic expectations of what love really is. Now, when my clients join Love Accelerator, there is a little love step, what we call a little love step number 2, where we create a love vision. And that's where we get crystal clear about the man relationship that we want, because we believe if you don't have a bullseye, you will miss it every single time. But it's really interesting when our clients go through this process, because many times our clients will have ridiculous expectations for what a relationship really is and the type of man that they need to attract in order to be happy. And then when you talk to someone who's like 30 years married, they give you the reality check that is, when you are in a relationship, that person is not going to fulfill every single need that you have. They are not going to be the funniest person you meet, and the most intellectual person you meet, and the healthiest person you've ever been around with, and the most emotionally stable person you've ever. No one fulfills all of those things. So the reality is, when you are searching for love, you need to have realistic expectation of what's really important to you and what your needs really are. And if you keep searching for perfection, that to me is just a sign you're not really ready to attract love. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please again give this video a like. And also, if you do want to check out our Love Accelerator coaching program, I'll leave a link right there below where you can apply to speak with one of my love strategists, and we will dive deep into your love life and see whether or not you're a fit. Otherwise, I'd love to hear from you in the comments right there below. Have you ever sabotaged your relationships? Let me know exactly what's going on in your love life, and if you have any other topics you'd like for me to cover in future videos, also leave that in the comments right there below. I will speak to you, you sexy single lady, next week. Bye-bye.